You'll also be getting a Chromebook today. Here are some instructions about that.
Another thing you'll focus on during your first 2 Mustang Room days is getting all of your Chromebooks checked out. At Westlake STEM, we are privileged to be able to have a 1-to-1 student to Chromebook deployment. So that means we actually check out a Chromebook to you, just as we would a textbook at the start of the school year that you get to use throughout the entire school year. Now, there are some important things you need to be aware of on this. First off, you are accountable for that Chromebook. Most Chromebooks, each of these Chromebooks, I should say, average about $200 when you have all the kit included, plug and case. So you do need to take very good care of them. If they're lost or damaged, you are responsible for them. You will have 3 things to your kit. One is a Westlake STEM carrying case. Looks just like this right here. It's got the logo on the front. It actually has on the back a slot for a name card. You'll actually get a second ID badge later in the week, and that you will actually insert right in to your Chromebook case. You'll also get the Chromebook itself. For our 8th graders, it's probably the same Chromebook that you received last year, which is your incentive, by the way, 7th graders, to make sure you take very good care of your Chromebooks because you're going to be using it for the next 2 years. And finally, you will have a charger. Now, these are very important because you need to keep your Chromebooks juiced up, and you want to make sure you have them with you at all times. Something important to note is that we make sure we do not have anything other than the plug in the Chromebook case pocket. That's just for the plug. Please do not store anything else there. Pencils and things like that should go in your pencil pouch in your binder. That's it. That right there is your Chromebook kit. You got a Chromebook, you've got a case, and you have a plug. After you have had your Chromebook checked out to you, you will need to go online to a Google form, the link of which is on our Mustang Room page, and fill it out to identify which Chromebook you have. Of course, we've got that checked out to the library as well, but also to let us know what state your Chromebook is when you received it. There's a few questions on that Google form that will allow you to take an inventory of how the Chromebook was when it was checked out to you. That's it. Those are our Chromebooks. Take good care of them and put them to good use. Thank you, Mustangs. Hey there, Mustangs. I'd like to talk to you about a school procedure that's a little different this year than it was last year. I have here in my hand my cell phone. I love my cell phone. I know a lot of you love your cell phones. It's a day and an age where we have cell phones with us constantly, and they are fabulous. But there is a time and there is a place for cell phones. We actually probably have as much latitude in our school for cell phones as any other school. We're a STEM school, and we think that's very appropriate. As long as students are wearing their ID badges, which we kind of view as like the driver's license, students are entitled to be able to have their cell phones out during passing time in the hallways, in the lunchroom. Even before school, we'll have students in the gym. They can have their cell phones then. A time that we do not have cell phones out is during class time. Now, to give you an example of this, every day when I go home, I like to be able to take my cell phone and I put it away. I actually put it in one of our rooms in the house where we charge all of our cell phones, and I try to untether because I'm trying to focus on some other things. At that time, I'm trying to focus on my wife and my kids and my family. So during that time, I put my cell phone away because I know myself. I'm really tempted to go look at it and flip through it and play with it. And because it's not the right time or place for that, I do put it in a place where it's close by, but it's not tempting and right at my fingertips. The same is the case for our procedure this year in the classroom. In the classroom, and some of our 8th graders know this from when we did our RISE testing, you should be able to find some cell phone pouches just like this, usually in this exact same location. If it's one of these standard rooms, it will always be in this location, but some of the rooms are just a little bit, they're laid out a little bit different. So you'll be able to find a pouch like this. The expectation is that a cell phone is not on a student's person while in class. So there's a couple options. Number one, you don't need to bring a cell phone to school. They're not required. Number two, if you do bring a cell phone to school, you could just leave it in a locker during class time. That way it's not a temptation to you. Or number three, if the cell phone does come to you to class, it needs to be in this pouch. If at any time a cell phone is found on a student during class and not in the pouch, I have asked every teacher to make sure those cell phones are collected and they are taken to the office. So I'm telling you up front, I have asked the teachers to follow through with that. If you don't want that to be you, please make sure your cell phone is in the pouch during class time. And if you don't feel comfortable putting it in the pouch, I can respect that, then you need to keep it in the locker or at home. This gives us an opportunity, like I do at home, to be able to focus on the things we need to be focused on in class and take a little break from having our cell phone during that time. When the class is ended and your teacher's excused you and the bell's rung, of course you come and grab your cell phone. You're welcome to be, as long as you have your badge on, be able to look through it during that passing time. We
still need to get classes as quickly as we can. And also, of course, at lunchtime and before school and after school, you can be using your cell phone. So that's our procedure with cell phones this year. They go right into the pouch during your class time. You can leave them there and pick them up after class is over. Thank you, Mustangs.